Luke chapter 23, verses 42 to 43. Then he said, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And Jesus replied, I assure you, today you will be with me in paradise. Jesus wasn't crucified alone. On either side of him were two criminals, and it was one of those criminals that said to Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And the response that Jesus gave is quite astounding, because Jesus describes a scene that was completely opposite to their current situation. Right now they were together in a place of punishment and judgment, but Jesus says later on today, we will be together in paradise. Jesus is saying to this criminal, I will bring you into an experience that is completely opposite to what you're currently going through. This is partly what the Bible describes as salvation. Jesus saves people from lives that are characterized by sin and judgment and brings them into a life that's like paradise. The word paradise literally means garden of God, and it reminds us of the Garden of Eden, the place that God made for humanity at the beginning of time. That was a place where everything was as it was supposed to be, a place where everything was as God intended it to be. The criminal on the cross found himself in a situation where nothing was as God meant it to be. God didn't want him to commit the crime. God didn't want him to be hanging there in suffering on the cross. And looking at his life, this criminal perhaps thought, well, life has gone so wrong for me. And yet Jesus said, in a short time, you're going to be in a place where life is how it's supposed to be. You're going to be in a place where life is how God wants it to be. And what's more, this place of paradise, interestingly, it's only for people who are righteous. It's only for people who are good. And so what Jesus is saying to this criminal on the cross is, I don't see you as somebody who is bad. I now see you as somebody who is good. I forgive you. I don't see your crime, and I make you right in order that you can be in a place where everything is right. And perhaps even more important about this place of paradise is it's a place where Jesus is always present. And where Jesus is, that there is hope and there is healing, there is peace, there is joy, there is So to be in a place with him means to be in a place where this criminal could have all those good things. But of course, something needed to happen before that criminal could be with Jesus in paradise. Christ needed to die. And the Bible teaches us that Jesus' death opens the way for people to enter paradise. The cross of Christ is what enables people to be made right with God, what enables people to be brought into a life that's right and a life that is lived in the presence of Jesus. Now again, for the criminal on the cross, that could only happen once Jesus has died. But now Jesus has died. He's already died, and therefore God's salvation is open for all of us today. So today we can have a life that is righteous. We can have a life that's lived in the presence of Jesus because Christ died. Now is the day of our salvation. Today is a day where Jesus can save you from a life that's gone wrong and save you into a place of forgiveness and save you into a life that is right. For you, just like the criminal on the cross, today you can have a life that God wants you to have.